Welcome to your daily focus for January the 6th, 2023. Yes, a full moon in Cancer. We'll get to all that energy, and it's beautiful energy, so you want to stick around for it. Let's start at the beginning, though. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. We have the sixth energy. The sixth energy is about health and well being. Absolutely, taking care of ourselves. It's also about our day in, day out routines, our mundane, going to work, crossing things off the grocery list, off the list itself, and where we can incite change, maybe to free up time or energy or resources in order to utilize it in going forward on our path. If we do the numerology of the day, it is a 14, 1 plus 6 plus 7. And the 14 is having more by having less. It's also about understanding the balance that you personally need in your life. I mean, some people can wake up at the crack of dawn. Other people need to sleep longer in order to feel refreshed. Some people can get 6 hours. Some people need 8. Some people need 10. Some people need a nap in the day. And not one of those things are a wrong thing to do. If it suits you, your life, your goals, your dreams, your existence, your you, if it supports you. And that's the important thing to remember. If it doesn't help you, if it doesn't support you, then we need to, it's a full moon energy, right? It's about release, let go, move it into the past, put in new things, different things, put a twist on things. 1 plus 4 is a 5, so it's a busy energy. It's about laughter. It's about joy. It's about dancing in the rain. This is what comes into my mind. Whatever comes into my mind, I have to say out loud because I figure that they're giving me what I need to tell you. It's about creativity, inventiveness. It's about the independent you. It's about standing firm in who you are and your heart and your desires. It's about letting in romance. Now, the first thing that we have the sun in Capricorn, and the moon is in Cancer, and of course it's 16 degrees, and we'll get to that. But let's start with the beginning of the day, because we wake up in the morning with the sun and Neptune talking together. And that kind of gives us this, we almost want to do a to-do list. We want to understand better what we want to achieve, what our goals are, and we will be feeling very optimistic with Saturn and Neptune talking together in harmony. We'll have a little bit of practicality, but a little bit of the dreamscape. So we have this self-confidence as we start the day on how to turn our dreams into reality. Then comes the full moon, and it is opposite Mercury, which means Mercury is sitting right next to the sun. I think it's at 17 degrees, so very close. So Mercury, our voice. Now remember, Mercury is retrograde right now, but it's also at the 17 degrees, which is making the impossible possible, so we have to remember that. The full moon itself sits at 16 degrees. 16 degrees is about awakenings. It's about seeing how this part of your life no longer needs to be, or you want it to be. You want to go forward in this direction. And in order to move forward, in order to have the space to move forward, we need to clear the space, which means things need to change in our life. Maybe it's our routines. Maybe it's our jobs. Maybe it's our relationships. Maybe it's our health and well-being. Maybe it's our spirituality. It could be 1,001 things. But for each of us, it's very unique. It's very different. Now we have Mercury in the picture. Mercury is retrograde. So that's about rethinking and redoing and watching our communication, because that'll get all garbled, and transportation is another thing that gets very garbled. Don't expect your timelines to go perfectly. I had a 2-hour appointment. By the time it was done, it was a 3-hour appointment, and I'm not complaining. I'm glad they took their time and did what they had to do, but that put me behind for everything else that I wanted to do for the day, right? So you have to kind of go with the flow. and know that there'll be bumps in the road whenever Mercury is in retrograde. Now it's sitting right next to the sun, which puts a light on our voice, our wants, our needs, our thoughts, our dreams, our potential. But it's also opposite the moon, which is our heart and our intuition. And so there's a great conflict going on here with us between rational thinking and intuitive thinking. Our heart and our mind is not getting along. Now, in saying that, we also have Uranus. Uranus is involved. Uranus is talking to the full moon. I think harmoniously. So our fears get a little lessened. Our anxieties are a little less. And we do get a heightened intuition and self-awareness, which is why our hearts might argue a little bit more with our minds than it normally does on taking a risk on ourselves, on believing in ourselves, and believing in our thoughts and our dreams and our desires, and that we can be successful in them. On top of that, we have Mercury getting along with Uranus. How many cards is that? Too many. Okay. Mercury is getting along with Uranus, and that only enhances our intuition. That only enhances our sense of adventure, of wanting to go forward, of wanting to create, of wanting to invent, of wanting to explore the world and go on adventures and step into opportunities. So this is the time, because we are heightened for this, that opportunities can very well show themselves. Now, are we stepping into the opportunities? We may not be, because it is full moon energy. We have Mars in retrograde. We have Mercury in retrograde. Even Uranus, I think, is in retrograde still. So we are thinking about it. We are looking at our lives, and we are putting in where we want to expand, where we want to grow, what we want to step into, where we want to celebrate successes in our life. And in order to do that, we have to look at what we are willing to remove from our lives. Maybe put a completion on something, finish something. Maybe it's a healing that needs to happen for you to let go of something so that you can move forward with a new energy. So what needs to change in order for you to step into that moment? Although the Fool has been showing up so often now, you really don't need as much as you think. So we go back to the very beginning in the numerology, the 14, having more by having less. We don't need all the baggage that we're taking with us. And so we have to be, we have to really think about it. Our hearts may say one thing, our logic may say another. So we might be trying to find the balance between the two for ourselves, finding our inner balance. And then being able to portray that reflection of that balance in our external world. Okay, let's get to the cards, shall we? So we'll do a shadow plus what's under the shadow. Oh, look at that. The Ace of Swords, the aha moment, the epiphany, the miracle. It happens. All of a sudden, you get it. You know what you want to do. You know how to go forward, perhaps. You know the strategy you need to employ, perhaps. These are epiphanies. These are aha moments. This is the Emperor in you, the Empress in you coming out. Maybe even the High Priestess. The Hierophant, perhaps. This is you standing, knowing that you can accomplish. This is you understanding that this is your path because you alone can do it so perfectly. Underneath it, what is the push to it? It is, oh, look at that, the Judgment card. So if we haven't been working on anything, don't worry about it, okay? Just know that. But if you have been working on it, those aha moments, those epiphanies will start to fast fire if you allow it. If you go and meditate or just sit in quiet contemplation or talk to God, your angels, your spirit guides, the universe for a few minutes. And that we could all benefit from that. But if you haven't been working on anything, now's the time for you to make a firm commitment to yourself. And that is what judgment is saying behind it. You have to have that firm commitment. You can't expect the universe to wave a magic wand and everything be perfect. You have to do the work. You have to build the strategy. You have to take your talents and gifts and put them out front. And today, the next couple of weeks going forward, in fact, because it is a full moon reading, and that's why I leave it up for you to go back on, because we should always remind ourselves of the last moon and the energy, the undercurrent that is constantly with us, that we may lose with all the other information that comes in during that 2 week period. So it's a time when you're going to maybe make a commitment to yourself that something's going to change. Okay, we want to achieve this. And we can be realistic about it. Absolutely. We can also let our heart lead part of the way. And that's where, we can blend it. If we learn to blend that energy together and get our hearts and mind to work together as one solid unit, cement it together, then we are really using a sage wisdom going forward. Now, if you have been working on it, you're going to see trickles of you're on the right path. You go forward, keep pushing, keep doing, keep believing, keep working at it, keep learning, keep teaching, whatever it is you do. But if you haven't, the Judgment card is here to say it's time for you to make that commitment. It's time for you to take a risk on you. And the energy, with Uranus in there, that's going to lower our fear. That's going to lower our anxiety of why we couldn't step forward. Because there's always a reason why we can't step forward. Otherwise, we'd already have stepped forward, right? So why? What is the why? You don't think you have time? Well, how can you reorganize your life in some small way to increase the time that allows you? Look at that. We had the star underneath that, making the impossible possible. Talking about, I'm going to keep that out because we did peek at it. It did show up. Okay, so that is the beautiful undercurrent of our next 2 weeks, and especially today and tomorrow and the next day, because the energy in the sky is always intensified those first couple of degrees, those first couple of degrees. So we have the Ace of Swords, the Judgment card, but behind it all we have the star, and that's by having the confidence to believe that you can make the impossible possible, that you can step in to that new beginning. You can go forward towards your best life ever. Absolutely. Okay. Our first card is the Knight of Cups. Okay, so let down your hair, enjoy, have some fun. Calm it down a little bit. You don't have to, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So it takes time. It took you time to get to here. So now understand that it's going to take you time to go forward. It's not all going to happen at once. So we need to enjoy the moments. We need to, live in the moment and appreciate the things that are around us. Those are the kinds of things that raise your energy so naturally. And things just start happening and things start flowing that are more positive and productive in your life. But it's by, I call this the knight in shining armor. He rides up on a stallion. He's definitely not in his uniform or in his armor. He's dressed very casually. He's dressed for a luncheon date. He's got the blanket there. He's probably got a picnic basket full of stuff. He's already holding his glass ready to fill it with, happiness and joy, but maybe a glass of wine or something. Well, he sits with you and talks to you under a beautiful apple tree next to a bubbling brook. And, so it is the 5 energy here now comes alive in this card of the romance and the happiness and the joy and the giggles and the laughter and about creating that in your life and how important it is because it is the very first card. So first and foremost, it's about seeing the potential that you already have around you and the beauty you already have around you, taking time to enjoy that beauty, but also applying it to the beauty that is going to be in your tomorrow as well. And the Seven of Swords appears. Seven of Swords. So I wouldn't be boasting about what I want to do and what I want to accomplish, because really we're making the impossible possible here. And so many people aren't going to buy into what we are saying, our thoughts and our dreams and our potential and all that. They're really just not going to listen to it. In fact, they might use it against you, especially if you have a good idea. You have a good idea, you tell your coworker, you go to the washroom. Next thing you know, you see your coworker in the office with the boss shaking hands because he just got a promotion because he told him that idea was his. So you kind of have to watch. Or people are trying to, they're spreading rumors about you or lies about you, or they're taking your story and twisting it so it's more of a comic relief than it is your goal, your dream, your sweat, your tears. So just be careful of that kind of energy being around you, and so only share with true confidence in your life. The other part of this is what we're taking forward with us. Here we are, we're getting ready, we're going to, well, it kind of looks like a fair, it looks like a party tent for sure in the back. We're going to a party of some sort. We're going to celebration, we're going to successes. So what do we need in order to go towards those successes? Notice how we walked by those two swords that would have been so easy to grab onto, and yet we take the effort to bend down and pick up that one laying on the ground. That's because that one actually has potential. The two that are standing up, yeah, we could probably use them, maybe not, but they're like all the other stuff we're carrying. It's just duplicates in one way or another. We don't need it on our path, so why are we dragging it with us? So this card is essentially one to tell you to take stock of what you're taking forward with you and why you're taking it forward. Do you need it? The Hangman shows up right in the middle. Be in the moment. Absolutely. We're hanging upside down here, but we're not struggling. We're in the moment. We are thinking. We are thinking about where we need to give up control in our life, what we need to surrender to in our life. We are thinking about, it's being in the moment. It's about deep breathing. It's about relaxing. It's about thinking through our dilemmas. Dilemmas. Thinking through our dilemmas without attaching too much emotion to it. Our intuition can come into play here. Watch that emotion that gets raveled up in there, because that's really what distorts the picture for you. So take a step back. Really think about where, excuse me, where you want to go. Okay. Oh, look at this, the King of Pentacles. Well, the King of Pentacles is the richest guy in the deck. Absolutely. I mean, he's all about the money. You want this guy to show up when you ask me who will I marry, right? Well, he's going to be rich, and it has happened. I have done a reading where this guy has come out, and I mean, she was clipping coupons and working 3 jobs, and she was raising a child on her own, and she was just trying to make ends meet, and a lot of weeks I'm sure there wasn't much more than $5 left in her pocket, if there was anything left in her pocket. And I did a card reading for her, and I said, "Oh, you're gonna marry somebody like a millionaire or somebody," because he came out, and she laughed, and yeah, that'll be the day. And I think it was like almost a year later, but she's happily married today. The King of Pentacles, he stands for the rich guy. He stands for the guy with knowledge. He's a risk taker, but he's an educated risk taker. He doesn't just jump off, fly off the handle, be very spontaneous about things. He thinks it through. And he kind of weighs out risk. And what will it cost in order to go forward and try for this and try for that. But when he does go for it, he expects success. That is the secret of the king. The knight, we're going to expect success, but we're going to have some challenges and some failures along the way because we're not the king yet. And we're not the emperor here yet. So there are a few mistakes that we will make along the way, and that's just learning experiences, okay? It's neither good or bad that when we go, oh, that didn't work out the way I saw it. It's okay because it's how we perceive it. Do we take it as a learning lesson, or do we take it as, oh, we should never even go in that direction again? What was I thinking? Now, his abundance is so great, he's straddling it. He's straddling it because he can't fit it into a pocket. And his crown is a living vine. So it's about dreaming of the possibilities, thinking outside the box, taking your life as is, and then just pushing the limits a little bit on some of the things that are in your life and reaching out to new horizons. Maybe it's putting a new twist on something that has been traditional or old or just the way we've always done it, or that's the tool you use. And thinking outside the box and creating wealth, creating abundance through these experiences. One more card, you say? Sure, let's do one more. Okay, look at this. We started with an ace, did we? Oh no, that was our shadow card, was an ace. And guess what we end up with? The Ace of Wands. And this is really understanding the balance. This is understanding how we're going to keep life going, flowing smoothly for us as we start to layer in new things and take out old things. So it's really thinking it through. It's really understanding it. I mean, this is a day, if you only journal for one day this year, make it today, okay? Sit down and think, what do I want to achieve? Where do I want successes in my life? Okay, and you'll be able to better understand how you can actually go forward in these endeavors of yours. Getting some new words today. But it also will give you a self-confidence, or build your self-confidence even more in your determination of turning your dreams into a reality. Okay, we'll get a mantra card. So, very exciting energy. Now, I think we have to keep grounded through this whole experience. I mean, Judgment was out. I mean, that's... And the Hangman's here. And he sat right in the middle. So, it's about being grounded. It's not being too spontaneous. We'll be optimistic, but don't let that optimism grow into fantasy land. Okay, we do have Neptune involved in this, but... Or just prior to it, actually, is when that energy really snaps hold of us. But it's with Saturn. So Saturn will keep us grounded for the most part, which is a good thing. They're getting along. So it's our dreams, and how do we do it? How do we do it? How do we walk into our dreams? And you'll get that aha moment. You'll get that epiphany. And you might just start firing. Okay, so sit in meditation, journal, pray, contemplate, ponder for a few minutes today. Okay, our card is, oh my gosh, the dove is back with a leap of faith. The dove is back with a leap of faith. So the sacred dove serves as a reminder that there is always hope, new possibilities, miracles just waiting around the corner. Enjoy each day as an adventure, live each moment to the fullest, take a leap of faith, and trust where the universe is taking you. This is your time to seize your unlimited potential and embrace yourself for new beginnings, adventure, and joy. You just can't make this stuff up, can you? The mantra is, I live in peace, accept miracles, and embrace new possibilities. And this is a time when we will be flexible. We will open ourselves up to new possibilities, new opportunities, new ways of thinking, being, doing, becoming. We'll get an animal card, and of course we will do a Journey of Love card at the end for our full moon. And we have the loon, the intuitive. How many times did I say intuition during this video? So we have the loon. Come on, get it nice and clear for us. The way the card tilts. Gosh, sometimes I just get it perfect. Listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition, as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek solitude. Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. And it's all about our uniqueness and our unique take on what we can do, where we can go, what we can step into, what we can grow, what we can create, what we can invent. Our intuition is playing a very large part of this, isn't it? And sometimes we need our intuition to override our logic. Oh my goodness, the cards have a life of their own. I bet I better cut. Oh my gosh, yes. Let's just cut. Okay. Oh my goodness. They want to run away. Okay. They're alive. Okay, here we go. And we got the cloak. 50. The cloak. The 5 energy. So that 5 energy, the daily energy, has come up over and over as well, hasn't it? Here we have the cloak. Beautiful card. I will read the poem first. Look at that, I opened right up to the cloak. And then we will go through the description, if I can ever turn the page. Poem is very short. Loneliness is like a ship in full sail with no wind and no place to go. Around you there is a cloak of your own creation. Perhaps it has served you for a time as an invisible form of protection, as a way to claim needed solitude, as a way to retreat inside, to find out what you truly feel, what you truly need, to find yourself after being lost in an ocean of thought and emotion, not always your own. Yet the time is fast approaching when you will no longer require that cloak. You have attained an integration within, a knowledge of self that makes it possible for you to connect with the world, with others, in a way that does not leave you lost and struggling to find yourself. You have learned how to hold yourself. You have learned how to do this well enough that you can successfully hold yourself and hold another too. You don't have to push the world away. You can invite it in and play. The message that this oracle brings to you is that you can safely release the forms of security that you once held. You do not have to abandon your boundaries with others. Rather, your boundaries are so functional that you can enter into relationships with more openness, trusting that your boundary will naturally assert itself when necessary, giving you the connection to yourself that you need when you need it, without having to withdraw from the relationship entirely. It is time to trust your own boundaries and practice letting them help you while actively engaging in deeper relationships. Start to have some fun. It's all about letting go. It's all about releasing the cloak. It's all about opening up to what could possibly be in your life, knowing that you have the power through this full moon to make the impossible possible if you so choose. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.